Well, of course, when you realise that there's a new film coming and there's a script about to come over, you try not to go, where am I, where am I? And I resisted that. And it's just lovely because you just think, oh my gosh, this is different. It's totally different. We're going in it is a new era. And there's a different vibe to it altogether. I mean, it's a fantastic, fresh, new idea. And it puts all the characters in a different kind of conundrum, which is really good fun, yeah. I suppose the two main things, the sort of themes, or if you like, in the film are literally Hollywood comes to Downton, which who'd ever imagined that happening? And that brings all kinds of chaos and romance and fights and God knows what. And the other half is that the family go over to the most exquisitely beautiful villa in France. So we see them playing around on the Riviera, which is gorgeous. Apart from working with Sophie McShera, which has been a joy always, I have to say the scenes we do with Paul Copley have always been so lovely. He's a wonderful actor, I think, and I love his character. He brings such a kind of warmth and honesty to it. I just love Mr. Mason. And it's been very slow, but it's very clear that they are interested in each other, fond of each other, but quite correctly, at that time, a woman like Mrs. Patmore would be very cautious and shy about declaring how she was feeling. He's been a little less shy, and very gradually he's laid a few hints that he might find her an interesting and nice woman. And I think she's finding that very exciting and lovely to hear. But neither of them are the sort that are going to leap into action. So it's the slowest burn, but it's kind of sweet, I think. Well, I think all the characters downstairs have a different view, very slightly different view of what they feel about this invasion. I mean, Daisy is completely over the moon, besotted, wetting her what's-its because she's so excited. Because she's in those days they would go and watch movies and these would be, I mean, it's a bit like goddesses walking into the house. I mean, it would be mind-blowing for them. And Anna Bates is the same. They all have little cuttings of their favourite stars. Mrs. Patmore, not so thrilled, really, because she always is aware of people coming and disrupting her regime, I think, and she doesn't know what to expect, and she's always just more cautious. She's not as twinkly about it all. She's a little bit more practical. Well, it was interesting having Simon come and direct this because I only knew him vaguely, and he said to me very early on, he said, well, this has always been Elizabeth's gig, Elizabeth McGovern being his wife. So we've known him, but I've not known him very well. And what he did, which was really sweet, I thought, and helpful and respectful and kind, was he invited everybody to have a coffee with him early on, just so he could sit down and chat. And he said, really, all I want to say is, you know what you're doing. I know you know your character very well, and I'm not going to be in your way, but I want you to know I'm there to help if you need help. And that's, what more could you ask, actually, from a director? When you have such a good writer as Julian, you're lucky enough to know that he'll have a radar, possibly, about what your strengths are. And it wasn't just me, it was everybody, for sure. But what he sensed very early on was two things, I suppose. One was Sophie playing Daisy and I were very close very quickly. We got on really, really well. We have a very, I adore her. I think she's wonderful as a person and as an actress, and we respect each other very much. So there was a lot of, places to go with that, and he did. So he developed, as we know, that relationship. But also, we also have the same sense of humour, and so he picked up on that, and it is my good fortune that he wrote me. I mean, he did say once, he said, I sort of gave her the downstairs version of the Dowager's wit, a kind of different version, but he did. He gave me some killer lines, for which I'm very grateful. What I do know is that it has been of some help to many people. during the pandemic, for sure. People have rewatched it, and it's given them a sort of comfort and a sense of visiting family, almost feeling cozy in some way. I don't know, reassured. I don't know. People will have different feelings about it. But I also know, even through the series, there were more critical points in people's lives where this became important. I mean, to be really at an extreme. We had a family who they were losing their mother in a hospice, and the only thing they could really do together was watch Downton, which they did, and she was able to see it and be comforted by it. And they'll always remember that. That was something that just aided them through a really horrible time. And that's a real privilege to be part of something that would have that effect on people. Well, I wouldn't want anybody to see the film other than on the big screen, because it's usually pretty exciting visually, but this time it's visually exciting with bells on, to be honest, because you've got lots going on at the castle, and then you've got France, and it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. It's lovely to see those actors out there doing their thing and looking amazing. So I think it's a feel-good movie. There's a lot that will make people, and it's funny. It's killer funny. And it's entertaining, and it will be a very happy distraction, I think, for a couple of hours after a time when people have been really pushed and feeling, low and lonely and cut off. This hopefully will be something that will make them smile and make them feel a bit hugged.